Welcome to the Forbo adhesive video. Proper adhesive use is one of the most important steps of a successful flooring installation. Contrary to what many installers believe, adhesive can't just be smeared on the slab. Knowing how to work with an adhesive is critical to achieving a successful outcome. Adhesive should be considered an installation tool. If it's not used correctly, it'll cause the floor to fail. First, your substrate needs to be clean, smooth, and free of contaminants. Making sure the surface is clean is vital. Next, applying the right amount of adhesive is crucial. Forbo marmoleum products are installed using a 1/16 square notch trowel. The trowel is a metering device, not just a glue spreader. Its function is to deliver the right amount of adhesive onto the substrate. Adhesive must be spread up to all walls, door jambs, and seam edges. Leaving voids or gaps means there's nothing holding the floor down to the substrate, and this can allow material to lift or release. Fresh adhesive can be removed from the floor using a clean, damp cloth. For dried adhesive, a small amount of mineral spirits on a cloth can be used. When using Forbo adhesives, understanding the difference between open time and working time is critical. Open time is the amount of time between when the adhesive is spread and when you start laying the marmoleum. Working time is the amount of time an adhesive can be left open on the floor before it flashes off or becomes too dry to bond to the materials. The conditions you have today may not be the same tomorrow. The open time and working time of the adhesives will vary depending on your site conditions. Things like ambient temperature, humidity, how porous your substrate is, and what kind of air circulation you have at the site will affect the performance of the adhesive. Because marmoleum needs to be set into wet adhesive, it's important to understand the different stages of wet adhesive and when it's a good time to install. Fully wet can be defined as adhesive that has just been spread and has not been allowed to develop any body. Installing into fully wet adhesive can achieve the proper bond, but it requires extra care to ensure that the material doesn't shift during installation. Because it may take longer to dry, you may need to pay attention that the adhesive doesn't squeeze out or displace from under the material. The floor will also need to be rolled more frequently during the install to be sure any bubbles are eliminated. Semi-wet is adhesive that has been given some open time and has been allowed to develop some body. Installing into semi-wet adhesive is ideal when installing marmoleum products. A good way to tell when it's time to place the marmoleum into the adhesive is to touch the adhesive. When a light touch produces just a little transfer of adhesive to your finger, but a firm touch will flatten and smear the adhesive, you're good to go. If there's no transfer to your finger, it means you've waited too long and the adhesive has flashed off. You need to scrape it up and start again. Forbo marmoleum must be installed into wet or semi-wet adhesive. Under no circumstances should the adhesive be allowed to flash off or dry. When adhesive is used correctly on marmoleum sheet installations, clearly defined transfer marks can be seen on both the substrate and material backing. For marmoleum tile installations, transfer can be seen as clearly flattened trowel ridges with the impression of the tile backing in the adhesive. Immediately rolling the material with a 100-pound roller is critical. Rolling is what embeds the sheet or tile into the adhesive. The proper rolling of a floor takes only minutes to do. When installers say extra rolling takes too much time, it's just not true. It's easier to take the extra few minutes to roll the material correctly than it is to spend hours or even days replacing a floor that has failed because it wasn't rolled properly. If you lift the material and see clearly defined trowel ridges, the adhesive was allowed to flash off or dry, and the material is not fully bonded to the substrate. The most important thing to remember when installing marmoleum products is do not let the adhesive dry or flash off. If the material is installed into wet or semi-wet adhesive, significant force will be required to remove it. Flooring set into dried adhesive can appear to be well bonded, but within a short time, it'll bubble or curl. Evidence of dried adhesive is very simple to see. Flooring material will be easy to pull up, and fully formed trowel ridges will be clearly seen on the substrate with no transfer to the back of the material. This is one of the most common installation failures in the flooring industry. Don't just think you're going to slap the flooring down into the glue and walk away and no one will ever notice the difference. It's very simple for us to come to a job site, lift material, and see fully formed glue ridges on the floor. When Forbo comes out and sees these conditions present underneath failures, we will not honor claims or pay for replacements. If you see this, you'll know the adhesive was allowed to dry before the flooring was installed. This is not a material failure. This is an installation failure. The only fix is to remove the material, scrape off the dried adhesive, and start over. The fact is, when properly trained installers understand how to use adhesives and follow the guidelines, the adhesives will work. When installers don't understand how adhesives function or don't follow these simple guidelines, the floor is going to fail. Thanks for watching this Forbo video. For other videos, see us at youtube.com/ForboFlooringNA. And for additional technical and training school information, visit us at ForboFlooringNA.com.